Hey Josh, it's Wednesday, and my computer was acting up a little there, but it's good now. So yeah, it's Wednesday. I forgot to make my video yesterday, but I was a bit busy throughout it, as I mentioned to you already. Um, but so yeah, that's the short story of it. So first off, to answer your question of or from from being late as well. If I remember correctly, it's if there's any books that I've been reading recently. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'll answer it through a text or whatever. But I haven't really done a whole lot of reading outside of my normal books that I have been reading here for a while. I'm still working on some of the Rick Riordan books because I'm backed up on those. And you mentioned that Blood song. I bought it a while back. There was a video that I had made where I'd asked for book recommendations, and you had recommended Blood Song, or just the Raven Shadow whole thing. That was like a couple months ago, and I picked it up back then. But yeah, so I did that already. But yeah, I've really only been reading up on Rick Riordan. Like I've been working on the Magnus Chase book, the final one, The Ship of the Dead, I believe is what it's called. I'm almost done with it. After reading it for since it came out, which has been a couple of years. I haven't really been reading a whole lot, or at least not as much as I used to now. I've been trying to fix that. I've been trying to read more often. But I've not really, I haven't done it a lot. But yeah, so I've been working on that, almost done with it. So yeah, there's that. But to talk about, for this video, I'm gonna go back to an old topic that it's been a few videos since I talked about. Dungeons and Dragons. As I mentioned in my text, I had a session last night, and oh boy, was that a fun one! It was entirely role play, with a bit of shopping sprinkled in there as well, at the very end. Um, but we're going through Tyranny of Dragons. We just started the Rise of Tiamat, and that starts or that the Tyranny of Dragons is split up into two books. It's kind of like the two Waterdeep books, where there's Dragon Heist, and then it goes right into uh, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. There's Horde of the Dragon Queen, which is the first half of that adventure, and then the second half of the adventure is the Rise of Tiamat. And so we started that, and that starts with a council meeting that our party was invited to, which we're actually going to be coming up with a name or an actual name for our party rather than just murder hobos. After 3 years of playing it. Playing that campaign, we're finally just like, we should make a name for our party. And so, yeah, that's what we're doing. But yeah, so we started off with that, and our DM, I mentioned this a few videos ago, but for this one, Anthony, our DM, asked us to make some NPCs for our characters, from our characters' backstories, and we met about half of them that were there for this session. Half of us that were actually there. But yeah, it was definitely fun. And it was also very awkward because the character that I gave him was a previous love interest of my character, who the two of them still get along. They're still very flirtatious to each other as well, as we determined at the session yesterday. And that was very awkward because Anthony does not know how to flirt, and I don't know how to flirt, so it was kind of awkward. um, he almost made me have a spit take at one point. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but I was sitting next to him that night last night, and he at one point he reached over, like patted me on the arm, and I don't remember exactly what it was that he said. It was something along the lines of like, I understand, sort of thing. And I was taking a drink at the time, and I almost did a spit take because it was just so cringy and awkward and just amazing. Um, but yeah, that was fun. And then also the other character that or NPC that we met was our Tiefling Bard's adopted mother, who basically stole our Tiefling from her family, because her stepmother is a fiend warlock and felt it necessary that for her devotion she deserved a Tiefling child and didn't have one, and so she decided, hey, why don't I just kidnap one? Cause that makes sense. I'm evil. But yeah, it was honestly a lot of fun. Oh yeah, we also like I said, we're in water. I don't think I mentioned it, but we got to Waterdeep, and my character is a wanted criminal in Waterdeep, and so I had a face mask and hood up the entire time so that no one would notice me. And he's also a charlatan, so he has a new identity because his previous false identity was what he got caught on, and God, I can just go on about that character's backstory a little bit more, but I won't bore you with it. Um, I'll just give you the short version. So, my current character, Varys Amakir, his original identity was Renilius Linato, which just so happened to be the name of my first character in that campaign, which was a Drow rogue assassin, rather than my Wood Elf Swashbuckler rogue, which are totally different characters, of course. They're very similar. Um, but yeah, basically, my drow stole the identity of Renilius Linato from Varys. I don't remember what his original name was. I have it typed out in his backstory. It started with a Q. That's all that I remember. But yeah, it was so when my NPC first saw me, she was just like Renilius, because that's what she would know me by, because that's what I usually used as my alias with that character, and the entire party was just like, "Wait, Renilius? What?" And then, and later in that conversation, I was just like, "Have you heard anything about my apprentice either?" To my NPC, and everyone was just like, "You're apprenticed? What?" It was a lot of fun. So yeah, that was a lot. It was just a really fun session, and we went shopping as well. So I have silver longswords now, so that's cool. And I sold a useless bow that I had had for a while that I never used. Um, but yeah, so I guess that'll do for this video because it's running a little long. So Josh, my question for you is, it's one that I asked you a while ago, but I believe that the day that you were or the week that I had asked that question was the week that your audio didn't work. So my question for you is, are there any NPCs that you've put a lot of time and thought into? So that'll do it for this video. So Josh, I will see you on Friday, probably, hopefully. Later, bro.